Hey everyone, Scott here. Listen, I got a really good question from Anne, and I wanted to share some of the concepts here with everyone because I know this is something that happens to all of us, me included. So just to kind of set the stage, the situation is one, and tell me if this sounds familiar, where you've gone through a sales process with a target customer, target prospect, and there's maybe a key meeting or a key interaction or something in the sale didn't go exactly as planned, and frankly, it was your fault. So what I mean by that, some examples might be that maybe you got into the presentation and you just pushed a little too hard, right? You're like pushing to get commitment or trying to push to get a certain price, and you could tell that the reaction or the response from the prospect was not so positive, and they kind of left the meeting, kind of with a bad taste in their mouth. Another example could be not necessarily that you did something wrong per se, but that by pushing too hard, but maybe you just left the prospect a little bit confused in terms of how you would implement or how your product works or how your product would work for them, right? So it was big song and dance, lots of clicks, lots of features, but the sense that you've got is like the customer's actually a little bit confused. And a third situation that comes up all the time is when you've been working with a team of people and perhaps you either left somebody out of the conversation on the client side, somebody that was like a key contributor. It could be a technical person, could be a chief financial officer, somebody who's going to be key to the decision. Maybe you just didn't invite them to the meeting, or maybe you did not give them the proper time to answer, to ask and answer questions in that meeting. And so maybe they're feeling a little bit rebuffed. So any of these are just examples of little mistakes or missteps that from a sales standpoint, right, they kind of, they make you a little nauseous because you're like, oh man, looking back, I totally screwed that up. And man, if I could just do that over, if I could get the do-over, that would be awesome. And so, the technique here that I want to share is something I learned from a friend of mine named Adam Sowden. I learned it from him years ago. He described it best as the fall on my sword technique, the fall on my sword technique. So this is just a saying go back to ancient samurai times where basically the samurai would fall on their sword rather than be taken over, or fall on their sword to accept blame for something that they did wrongly that went against the proper practices of being a samurai warrior, right? And so the fall on my sword technique is to simply, this is really just a way to humanize the sales process, is to admit your mistake to your prospect. And so the way to do this is, and I'll just use a quick example, is, listen, John, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to come in and talk with you. I learned a lot about your company, and I learned a lot about how we might be able to help you. But here's the thing. I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. This is really important, right? Don't beat around the bush pretending to say you're apologizing, or don't apologize without apologizing. Don't qualify your apology. Say, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. Because this will diffuse a lot of tension. This makes it really human when you become vulnerable to the person. And then follow up and explain why you're sorry. So, hey John, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to come in and chat with your team. Looking back at the conversation, I realize I owe you and your entire team an apology. I'm sorry. Here's why. When we were in the meeting, I realized that looking back, I was pushing way too hard for you guys to make a commitment to move forward with us. And I should know better based on my experience working with you guys and working with companies just like you. You frankly deserve to have some more time to digest the information that we were sharing in the meeting. I'm so anxious and so excited about the opportunity to work with you guys. I just got caught up in that emotion. And now looking back, I realized that I was pushing too hard, and I'm really sorry about that. Or you can say, look, we were going through the product demo so quickly. There's so many great features and so much functionality, and we're so excited about what we've been able to build here at our company. I realized what I did is I tried to show you everything instead of showing you the most important things in our product. And you probably left there feeling really confused instead of having a clear picture on how we can help and how our product can work for you. And I'm really sorry. So once you've done this, that then opens up the opportunity by being vulnerable. It gives you, hopefully the person will accept that and say, wow, that's really magnanimous of this person to do that, because it's hard. Most of us have a hard time apologizing. and then open the door and say, look, if you'll have me back, I'd love to, come back in and do a quick review of what we discussed, and answer any questions that you have. Or I'd love to do a more focused product demo now that I've learned from your team. And instead of me coming in, maybe we can just do 20 minutes via Zoom or GoToMeeting, because I really want to zero in on the key problems that you have and how our product might be able to solve those key problems. Or if it's the person that was left out of the meeting, you didn't give them the right amount of time. It's like, listen, Mary, look, I know you're the CFO there, and I did not give you enough time to ask your questions, and I'm really sorry about that. So I would really appreciate it if you could accept that apology, and I want to let you know that I would like to make myself available to answer any and all questions that you have. Open kimono, complete transparency about our company, how we work, how we bill, how we price, everything, because you deserve to know and get complete transparency about how we work with people just like you. So that's the fall on my sword. So basically, once you know you screwed something up, and look, we're all going to screw stuff up, we're all going to make mistakes, and this doesn't always work. It works with people that understand that you're trying to be human and people that want to work with you. So one is thank them for the opportunity. Two, apologize and be really clear. Say, I am sorry. Use those words, I'm sorry. And then explain why you're apologizing. And then open up the option, if they'll have it, if they'll consider it, to come back in and do another presentation or chat with them again or send them the information that they're looking for. Again, this doesn't always work. It's just like a lot of sales techniques. It's something that can work. And if you're genuinely apologetic, if you're like me and you screw up and it's a client that you can help, and you're like, man, I've done this person a disservice by pushing too hard or not answering the questions or not giving them complete information or completely omitting somebody who was key to the decision. Like, man, I screwed up. I really want to help this person. I think they'd be great clients and I know I can help them. Then this is a place to use it. It's not something you just fire off like 17 emails in a row to everyone in your pipeline that's not getting back to you. This is something that's very, very targeted as to when you can use it. But certainly if you find yourself in that situation where you screwed up and you want to look for an opportunity to reopen those conversations and get yourself back into a flow of the sales opportunity, this is something you can use, okay? So topic is the overall topic here is momentum maintainers or a stalled deal strategy. And really the question that we're answering here is, what do we do after we've kind of screwed something up in a sales opportunity? How do I re-inject life, or how do I restart the conversation with somebody who I know I can help, but I've made a misstep or I've screwed up somewhere along the way? Okay? Hope that's useful. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. See ya.